Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about NBA Youngboy and a new development in this case. Now, a lot of people are following this case closely because NBA Youngboy is a megastar in hip-hop. For those of you who don't know or been living under a rock lately, NBA Youngboy is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He caught a case back in March time frame, and he's been incarcerated ever since then, man. Now, it originally started off as a federal case, I believe, it started off as a local case, and it ended up becoming a federal case involving all these guns and stuff. He was arrested in LA. It was a big scene because they had to send out like the canine unit and everything to get him. And each development in the case since he's been locked up has been interesting. At one point, he was locked up in LA, then he was transferred to Louisiana. And then while in Louisiana, he went from the place that he's at currently to back to Baton Rouge to face his state charges. Now, all of these charges carry lengthy sentences, so Youngboy's team has been working overtime to make sure that he could at least get a bond, man. But things haven't been going their way. But today, some news came out from a guy by the name of Lawyer for Workers on Instagram, and he broke down one of the new developments in the case. Now, before we get into the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this situation with NBA Youngboy. Okay, so it looks like he might have some good news coming his way, possibly, man. I hate to put that out there. I got to knock on wood or whatnot. But if things all go right, according to what this lawyer says, you might actually see NBA Youngboy freed, man. Now, let's talk about the latest developments that we had talked about in the last video. We just did a video where they talked about NBA Youngboy and this whole Operation Never Free Again or whatever. And, his lawyers went to court and to battle about that. Now it looks like they're in court battling the legitimacy of the evidence in the case. Now, I'm no lawyer, but the lawyer in this situation that's monitoring this case as well seems like he's got his stuff in order, and I'd rather him explain the whole ordeal. So let's actually look at that clip from social media.
Boy update. His lawyers filed a motion asking the judge to throw out all the evidence that the cops have against him. His lawyers argue that the evidence was obtained illegally in violation of Youngboy's constitutional rights when the cops searched him without probable cause. Did the cops have probable cause to search him? According to defense attorneys, hell nah. The cops were arguing that a reliable source called 911 and said there's gang activity going on, people are brandishing firearms, they're trespassing. Defense attorneys say no. A woman called, it was a neighbor, she knows Youngboy, she knows Youngboy was outside his house, she was concerned about all the activity, but she didn't say nothing about no gang activity, she didn't say nothing about no brandishing firearms. Second point the attorneys make, when the first cop came on the scene, he had his body cam on, he didn't wait for backup, he didn't wait for a second police car, he didn't have his gun drawn, he calmly walked up, he started talking to them. Now, if you had probable cause to believe that two violent gangs were brandishing firearms and engaging in violence, would you as a single police officer casually walk up to them waiting for backup? No. And if you didn't do that, then did you really have probable cause to believe that criminal activity was afoot? No. You could easily argue that this kid was in front of his grandfather's house with legal guns and his friends. If the judge grants this motion, evidence gets thrown out, Youngboy's out.
Okay, so you heard it straight from this guy, man, and his name is Lawyer for Workers, man, on Instagram. He's very popular. I believe he even did an interview with DJ Vlad. He likes breaking down these cases for people to understand, those details that people that didn't go to law school can get a grasp of what's going down. So let's unpack some of what he said. So basically, he said the whole video of Youngboy, the whole alleged video, because nobody has confirmed that video was real or not. But the whole alleged video of Youngboy, the whole pictures, all that stuff that was picked up, all the evidence against him that brought on the warrant in the first place, that ended up having the feds get involved to where they had to go get Youngboy while he was in LA and track him down. All of that evidence and stuff can get wiped out if this motion gets agreed upon by the judge, and then Youngboy can hit back to the streets and hopefully keep his nose clean. Now, he also left a caption on this video on his page, and he said some things. So I want to make sure I highlight that because this is not a done deal, and this is not a for certain. This is just a possible, and it's just one of those things that goes back and forth with court. I believe that they file motions all the time, and sometimes they get picked up. Most times, they like, nah, that's not going to work. We'd still taking it to trial or whatnot. You know what I mean? So let's look at his post as well, or the caption of the post. Okay, so he said this, man, and it's some powerful statements. So rock with me. He started off, he said, Youngboy update. This is a very strong motion from his defense team. I criticize them because I think they should have put together a stronger and more comprehensive argument in support of his bond the first time the judge heard it. But this time, no criticism. This is an absolutely A+ motion. Will it win? We don't know. But when you look at the papers these lawyers put together and the quality of the work, it is what you would expect from defense attorneys for the hottest young rapper in the game. End of statement, man. Yo, dude likes to end on that, that drop the mic, doesn't he? But man, in there, he's basically saying that this was an A+ motion, meaning that it's not, it's not a guarantee it's gonna get passed or whatever, or the judge is gonna agree to this to drop those charges or whatever. But the fact that they put this together shows real quality work, and obviously NBA Youngboy's lawyers are working hard to get him free and working hard to make sure that he does as little time as possible or no time, especially if something like this is what's up. So they're potentially thinking about trying to get the judge to throw out all of that evidence. And based on what this lawyer said in the video, if all of that lines up and works, and that's not a guarantee, once again, if all of that lines up and works, NBA Youngboy coming home, man. That would be wild, man. That'd be a wild turn of events, man, especially with all the news lately with NBA Youngboy and his team. But to be perfectly honest, crazier things have happened, man. NBA Youngboy, man, he's had his situations with the law and whatnot, and he's looking at some time, man, because right now, what is he looking at? He's looking at 2 different charges. One's felon in possession of a firearm, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in jail and a maximum fine of $250,000. And the other one is what? Possession of an unregistered firearm, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in jail and a maximum fine of $10,000. So, man, hopefully things work out for NBA Youngboy, and when he comes out, he can be blazing, man. Because I just heard somebody say it, and I can't remember. They were like, NBA Youngboy has the career that every rapper wishes that they had. Every new rapper. Because dude is kind of like on his own, man. He's on an island by himself. He doesn't really answer to anybody bigger than him, except for when it's time to turn in that album. It's an interesting situation with him, you know what I mean? And with his team, they probably love to have him back because, let's be honest, he's the #1 money getter out of that clique. And, man, the music go hard. Everybody messes with his music. Okay, now with that, what do you guys think about this NBA Youngboy situation, man? Do you think that, man, there's a possibility that he might actually come home and get free based on all these details that these lawyers have been releasing, or this lawyer released online, obviously going off of what took place in court either today or on Friday? Or do you feel like, man, it's been some gloomy news, you don't want to get your hopes up because anything in this situation could go wrong, and NBA Youngboy could be still doing a lot of time? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. And hold up, man, I don't want to end on that. Hopefully, things work out for NBA Youngboy. It gets his act together, and everything gets back in motion like he wants it, man, because everybody likes the music, like I said before. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.